All right, so in this video, I'm going to go over compound inequalities. So compound inequalities are basically a combination of two inequalities that you're working with like at the same time. So, we've done inequalities, x is more than, 5, x is less than 5, that sort of thing. But it's really just been like one inequality, that we've been working with at a time. Compound inequalities is basically you're gonna be working with like two at a time. Now, there are two types that compound inequalities can fall into. One type is when you have two inequalities joined with the word and the other type is when you have two inequalities joined with the word or. So and or. So when we have a compound inequality with the word and, that's used for the intersection of two graphs. When it's used with the word or, that's used for the union of two graphs. All right, so what do I mean by that? So let's say like, let's say we have a graph, and when we have the word and, it's basically gonna be bounded. It's gonna be like it's gonna have like a left bound and a right bound. It's gonna be trapped. You're gonna have like a interval trapped between two endpoints. So let's say we shaded in the middle. It doesn't matter if the one is open or both open or if they're both closed. And let's say that this is 2 and that's 5. So the way we could describe this is that x is greater than or equal to 2 and x is less than 5. And when you have something like this, the thing is you can write this as one inequality. Well, in the sense that you kind of have one expression. So this is going to be the same as like having 2 is less than or equal to x and x being less than 5. So here's a compound inequality expression with the word and. Now when we have the word or, we call that a union because you basically have the inequalities, going in the opposite directions. So for example, let's say, again, I have my 2 and I have my 5. Instead of, shading the region between, I'm going to have one inequality go to the left, so less than 2, less than or equal to 2, and the other one to the right of 5. So you see, you can't have a solution that works for both of them. It's either going to work for this area, the number is either going to fall in here or it's going to fall in here. It can't satisfy both inequalities at the same time. This one, a number can, because x can be any number in here. So what you would write is that x is less than or equal to 2 or x is more than 5. Okay, so let's practice identifying these. So we're going to write each of these sentences as an inequality, and then we're going to graph them. So number C is less than 5, and it's greater than or equal to -2. So C is less than 5, and C is greater than or equal to -2. So it's trapped between -2 and 5, if you think about it, because if you have like your number line, -2 on the left and 5 on the right. In order for C to be less than 5, it would have to be to the left of 5, in this direction. And for it to be more than or equal to -2, it would have to be in this direction. And so then we're just simply talking about the region between. So you could also write this as -2 being less than or equal to C and C being less than 5. Right, the B, we have number T is less than -1 or greater than or equal to 4. So T is less than -1 or T is greater than or equal to 4. We draw a number line. We would have an open circle on -1, closed circle on 4. And if we're saying that t is less than -1, we'd be talking about, you know, this region here, so less than -1. And if we're saying that t is greater than or equal to 4, we would have this area, this region here. And so this is an example where you would have a union. So you don't have both inequalities solved, or you don't have both of them satisfied by, you know, any number, any one number, I guess. All right, so C, there's a typo here. So it's supposed to say a number x is greater than -8 and less than or equal to 4. So x is greater than -8, and x is less than or equal to 4. So we have open circle on -8, closed circle on 4. And if it's greater than -8, it's going to be to the right of -8, this direction. And if it's less than or equal to 4, less than or equal to 4 would be this direction. So yeah, we have this region right here. So we could also write this as -8 is less than x, and x is less than or equal to 4. And for D, we have a number y is at most 0 or at least 2. So if a number y is at most 0, that's basically saying that it is less than or equal to 0, because 0 is the highest value it could be. Or if it's at least 2, we would say y is greater than or equal to 2. So if we number line this, closed circle on 0, closed circle on 2, less than or equal to 0 would be this direction. Greater than or equal to 0, or greater than or equal to 2 would be this direction. So again, we have a union. That's why we use the word or.